In this 6-minute video, you will learn 2 ways to change colors in your animation using Ray Dynamic Color in After Effects. I recently discovered that squirrels are actually a little bit more orange-brown than yellow-brown. So in this scene, I'm going to show you how you can change the yellow color to an orange color. Okay, so let's take a closer look and see how many color controls we have. I'm going to search for color. And you can see that there are quite a lot of yellow color controls, and changing these all manually to orange would be a lot of work. So instead we're going to use Ray Dynamic Color for that. And just to show you what we're working with the normal color value in every one of these properties. The first thing that we need to do is we need to link all the colors to a palette so that we can change the color in the palette, and then all the other colors will reflect that change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all my layers, or I can select the composition that I'm working in and click on the plus button to create a palette. Now here we'll enter the color palette name and click OK. So now Ray Dynamic Color is going through every single layer and find all the color properties on that layer and add them to a color palette. Okay, so once that's done, there's 6 colors linked to this color palette. And if we take a look back into this color property right now, instead of that color value, we see the number 2. And that means that this color will be the second color in the palette. So if I change this to number 4, you can see that this color property will take on the color of 4. So let's change that back to 2, click on it, press 2, and then hit enter. Now let's open up this color palette to change this color. You can see that Ray Dynamic Color created a folder in here that holds a composition, and this composition is actually the color palette. You can open that up here, but you can also click on this button to open it up. And in there you'll find one layer, and that layer holds a couple of color controls. And those are represented by the swatches in Ray Dynamic Color. Now before I'm going to change this color to orange, I want to have a duplicate of this layer as a backup. So I'm going to duplicate it and type orange. Now only the color controls on the top layer will show up as swatches. So you could have whatever layer underneath this and it won't affect the palette. So I could even have images underneath here that I can use to color pick colors from. Now let's select our orange palette and let's change this color to orange. Click OK. Now if we refresh the script, you can see that now this yellow color is orange. And when we go back to the scene using this little mini flowchart, we can find that the yellow color is changed. Now, if for some reason I don't want to have a dynamic link in here, but I just want to have the color value, I can unlink this color from the palette. I can select it and click on the unlink button. And now when we open up the color property, we can find that the normal color value has returned. So if you want to do this for your entire comp, you can again select this composition or select all the layers and unlink all the color properties from the palette. So now all the color properties are unlinked and we're back at where we started. And you could potentially get rid of this palette if you want. When you're working with a bigger project, you might find that you have a lot more color swatches. So it could be hard to find the color that you wanted to change. So another way to go about this is to narrow down your selection. So instead of selecting all the layers, we want to select only the color that we want to change and create a palette from that. So I'm going to select this orange color and press plus to create a palette. I'm going to call this orange and hit enter. Now one color is linked and Ray Dynamic Color created an orange color palette. So now only this color property is linked to this color palette. So if I change this color, only this property will change. So I need to link every other color that's orange to this palette as well. And I can do this by selecting all the layers and then clicking the link button. So now Ray Dynamic Color will go through every single layer, and if there's a color property that's orange or matches any other colors in the color palette, it will link that specific color property to this palette. All right, once that's done, I can open up the palette, and let's this time actually lock the effects panel so that we can see the change happen directly. So I'm going to go back to my scene, and in here I'm going to paste that yellow color again. Okay, and now you can see that everything changes. Now from here, I can do the same step again. I can unlink all the colors and then throw away the color palette if I want. Another thing that I can do is add this new yellow color to my existing palette. So if I have this palette that I'm working with, I can add yellow to this palette. Now, if I link this color to this palette right now, it won't work because there's no yellow color in here. So I first have to add the yellow color to the palette for it to work. And I can do that by clicking on it. And instead of pressing link, I'm going to press shift link. And that will add one color to the palette. So now that this yellow color is added, I can select all the other layers and click on link. And then Rated Color will search through my selection and find all the other yellow layers and link them to this color palette. I hope you learned something new. If you want to stay up to date on the latest tutorials, make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you have a request for a tutorial, find the link in the description and fill out the form. I would love to hear from you.